An iconic manager has a particular starting lineup that dominated an era. They start with the identity, then the formation, then the players and instructions to build that lineup. But you? We need to fix that. Quickly. Every manager is known for an identity, a clear way his team plays. So that's where we start. Your identity. What kind of football do you want to play? In eFootball, we are limited to only 5 playstyles. So let's start with the most anti-football one of them all. This is basically a carbon copy of Jose Mourinho's 2009/10 Inter Milan playstyle. Mourinho himself described it perfectly.
At Inter I had Zanetti, Cambiaso, Thiago Motta. We could stay in a low block for hours and nobody could score. They can take the possession and the ball home. But me, I prefer to take the 3 points.
That quote basically summarizes the entire philosophy. The goal is simple. Close all the dangerous spaces and make it almost impossible for the opponent to break through. But the moment the team wins the ball, chaos! Every player immediately bursts into space trying to reach dangerous areas as fast as possible. In eFootball, long ball counter works almost exactly the same way. Once possession is won, players aggressively run toward the forefront of the opponent's defensive line. They try to stretch the distance between themselves and the ball so that one pass can instantly send them through on goal. This is what makes the system so dangerous. The reason I call it anti-football is because of the extreme contrast in behavior. When defending, the team sits very deep and protects the center with a compact block. But the moment the ball is recovered, they attack extremely fast and extremely direct. The system doesn't really care who carries the ball forward. The only thing that matters is penetrating dangerous spaces as quickly as possible. Now that we're done with long ball counter, we move to the next one. Wait, hold up. You thought we were just going to explain it quickly and move on like every other video? Nah. We're doing this the eFootball way. Before the 5 playstyle system, PES had something called the manual tactics system. You had full control over attacking instructions, defensive instructions, and advanced tactics. You could spend 30 to 40 minutes building your tactics before even starting a match. But when the game evolved into eFootball with crossplay across mobile, PC, and console, Konami simplified everything into 5 simple playstyles. And here's the key thing. Those playstyles are just presets of the old manual tactics system. So here's what we're going to do. As we explain each playstyle, we'll recreate it using the old PES tactical instructions. By the end, you'll understand exactly how every playstyle works. To save time, we'll break down all the instructions while analyzing long ball counter. Attacking instructions. Attacking style. There are 2 options, possession game and counterattack. In possession, players come closer to the ball to create passing options to progress the ball up the pitch. If the gameplay feels slow and in control, it's possession game. In counterattack, once the ball is won, players immediately run into space to reach dangerous areas as fast as possible. If the game feels fast-paced, where if you don't throw ball on time, you miss a golden opportunity, it's counterattack. Long ball counter is fast-paced and clearly uses counterattack. Build-up. This determines how the ball moves up the field. Short pass. Linear progression where you build from defenders to the midfield, then to the attackers. If during goal kicks, your defenders are near your goalkeeper to build from the back, it's short pass. Long pass. Curved progression where you skip the midfield and play direct balls toward the attackers. The midfield splits to 2. The DM goes deeper while the other midfielders push higher to win second balls. Long ball counter uses long pass. You can even verify this during goal kicks when defenders stand far from the goalkeeper. Attacking area. This determines where the team focuses its attacks. Center. Players attack through the middle. Wide. Players stretch the pitch and attack through the wings. The easiest way to verify which area the team attacks is to check your RMF and LMF. If they tuck inside, they are attracted to the center. But if they hug the sideline, the game is basically telling you they attack through the wings. For long ball counter, the attacking focus is center. You can verify this through the left midfielder. You can see him tucking inside. Positioning. There are two types. Maintain formation. Players stick to their positions. If a player leaves his zones, another player temporarily replaces him. Flexible. Players freely move and rotate to attack dangerous spaces with little to no regard to the structure of the team. Long ball counter uses flexible positioning, allowing players to make aggressive forward runs no matter the position. Support range. This determines how far players spread out during attacks. The scale goes from 1, very close, to 10, very far apart. Long ball counter pushes players far forward to attack space quickly. This is what makes them attack the front lines so fast, because the players try to get farther away from the ball holder as possible to create passing lanes for long through balls. Support range is basically max, 10/10. We're done with attacking. Let's get into the defensive instructions. Defensive style. This determines how the team reacts after losing the ball. Frontline pressure. Immediately press the opponent. All-out defense. Drop back and form a defensive block. Long ball counter uses all-out defense, with players retreating quickly into their own half. Containment. This determines where the defense focuses. Middle. Protect the center and force opponents wide. Wide. Protect the wings and force opponents inside. Long ball counter uses middle containment, prioritizing central defense. Pressure. This determines how defenders approach the ball. Aggressive. Defenders rush the ball holder. Conservative. Defenders hold their shape and block passing lanes. Long ball counter uses conservative pressure to protect defensive structure. Defensive line. This determines how high or deep the defense sits. Long ball counter uses a very low defensive line, around 2 out of 10. Compactness. This determines how tightly the team defends. Long ball counter is very compact, making it difficult to break through the center. But it's not the most compact defense in the game. It's the second most compact. You'll see how defensively solid the most compact is later during this video. Compactness for LBC is roughly 7/10. Now this is long ball counter in the PES tactics. So if you are the kind of person that like to play safe and match up a lot, and you are really good in timing through passes, this is for you. I don't recommend it for those that like building from the back, but for those who are concerned about scoring goals quickly no matter how. Long ball counter is simple. Defend deep, win the ball, launch it forward immediately. But modern football took that same idea and made it faster, sharper, and more aggressive. And that evolution is called This is the classic Klopp system from Dortmund 2011/12. Relentless, aggressive pressing to win the ball high up the pitch, then using the opponent's now disorganized structure to bite and score easy goals. In Klopp's words,
"No playmaker in the world can be as good as a good counter-pressing situation."
So the defensive line is very, very high, and the pressing is extremely aggressive. The idea is simple. Turn the opponent's box into your territory. Once the ball is won, the team uses its numerical advantage near the opponent's goal to punish them mercilessly. But if the press fails, if the opponent escapes that high pressure, it's over. You're cooked. You will concede the cheapest goal imaginary. Now, without wasting time, let's recreate this system in the PES manual tactics system. Attacking instructions. Attacking style. The attacking style is counterattack, obviously. Build-up. The build-up is short pass. The midfield keeps its structure so the team can progress the ball from the back quickly and efficiently. You can confirm this during goal kicks. The center back stayed close to the goalkeeper, which tells us the build-up style is short pass. Attacking area. Now this part is a bit tricky. Quick counterattacks both through the middle and the wings. So which area is dominant? Let's use the easiest test. Play with a 4-4-2 formation and observe the RMF. If he hugs the sideline, it's wide. If he tucks inside, it's center. And in quick counter, he tucks inside. So the attacking area is center. Positioning. Now this one confused me for a while. I always assumed counter-attacking football meant pure chaos and fluid movement, like Klopp's early Dortmund teams flying forward like angry bees. But quick counter in eFootball actually behaves a bit closer to Klopp's 2019 Liverpool structure. The players maintain their formation while attacking. Unlike long ball counter, where your defensive midfielder might suddenly appear in the second striker's position because he felt like it, quick counter players respect the formation. The movement is fast and aggressive, but the structure stays intact. So the positioning here is maintain formation. Support range. Quick counter is about balance. Players shouldn't be too close, or the counter loses speed. But they also shouldn't be too far apart, or you can't build from the back. So the support range sits comfortably in the middle, which is 5/10. Now that we're done with attacking instructions, let's look at the defensive side. Defensive style. The defensive style is frontline pressure. The team presses aggressively from the front, trying to win the ball as high up the pitch as possible. Containment. The containment is wide. This helps the pressing structure spread across the pitch so the opponent can't easily escape through the flanks. Pressure. Quick counter is based on gegenpressing, and gegenpressing is aggressive by nature. So the pressure style is aggressive. Defensive line. Now this is where things get dangerous. The defensive line in quick counter is extremely high, and that's also its biggest weakness. Because if you lose the ball while your line is pushed up, the opponent only needs one good through ball to destroy you. But if you use the high line properly and press aggressively, the opponent never gets the time to play that pass. So the defensive line here is basically 10/10. Compactness. Quick counter defending is actually quite loose and spacious. The team spreads out to support pressing, which naturally reduces compactness. So the compactness is relatively low. Let's give it 4/10. That's the quick counter setup in eFootball. If you're the type of player who enjoys hunting the ball like a maniac, plays fast tiki-taka transitions from the back, or just fast counter in general, then this playstyle is perfect for you. I hope you're enjoying the class, my boy. Go ahead and like the video already. I'm waiting. Good. Respect. Let's continue. Quick counter is all about speed. Win the ball and attack immediately before the opponent can recover. But some managers believe the best way to win isn't speed, it's control. Control of the ball, control of the tempo, control of the entire game. And that philosophy is called This is basically Guardiola's style of football, tiki-taka. A style where you pass, hold the ball, pass, hold the ball, pass, 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 then score. You hold the ball until the opponent gets tired, loses shape, and then boom, you punish the mistake. Guardiola explained it perfectly.
First, you must have the ball. Without the ball, you cannot score. When we have the ball, we are organized. When the ball moves, the opponent moves. And when the opponent moves, the spaces appear. Then, once we see that space, attack, attack, attack!
And that basically explains possession football. You keep circulating the ball while your players create new passing lanes and triangles, waiting for the opponent to lose discipline. The moment they make a mistake, bam! You punish them. When I have the ball, you cannot score. So possession becomes a form of defending. And if the ball is lost, the team immediately presses to create a web around the opponent, intercept the ball, and restart the cycle of slowly annoying them to death with passes. This is the slowest play style in the game. It requires a lot of patience, technicality, and good vision to spot the small movements and hidden runs. The reward can sometimes feel questionable sometimes because, let's be honest, matches are decided by goals, not possession. And the previous counter-attacking styles can score in 5 seconds. so that makes it faster and effective. But still, there's no denying one simple truth. When you have the ball, you control the game. So let's set it up. Attacking instructions. Attacking style. The attacking style is obviously possession game. The team focuses more on positioning and passing options than on explosive runs. Build-up. The build-up is short pass. The ball moves gradually from defense to midfield to attack through controlled passing. Attacking area. Now this one is interesting. Possession football can work through both the center and the wings because the goal is simply to progress the ball patiently. But we still need a definite answer though, so we use the test. Using a 4-2-3-1 formation, we notice that the RMF and LMF hug the sideline. That means the attacking area is wide. Positioning. This one is very clear. The team always tries to maintain its structure, and I mean always. If one player moves into a zone, another player fills the space he left so the structure stays intact. That's how the passing network stays stable. So the positioning is maintain formation. Support range. The support range is low. For quick passing combinations, players need to stay close to each other. This encourages 1-2s, triangles, and short combinations, although it slightly discourages long runs into space. So the support range here is 2 out of 10. Now let's move to the defensive side. The defensive style is front-line pressure. Possession teams start defending from the front, trying to win the ball back immediately. Containment. Possession teams are excellent at protecting the central areas. They block through ball lanes and protect Zone 14, the most dangerous area in front of the box. If you watch the radar carefully, you'll notice the team converges toward the center while defending, so the containment is middle. Pressure. Is it aggressive or conservative? Possession teams care deeply about maintaining structure. So even though they press from the front, they don't recklessly rush the ball like quick counter. Instead, they close passing lanes and force mistakes. They basically create a passing trap around the opponent. So the pressure style is aggressive. Relax. I'm kidding. It's conservative. Defensive line. The defensive line is high but not as extreme as quick counter. So we'll give it a 9 out of 10. Compactness. Possession game is the most compact defensive system in the game. If you watch the radar during matches, the team stays very tight in the center while defending, even tighter than long ball counter. So the compactness is 8 out of 10. And that's tiki-taka recreated using the PES tactical system. If you love controlling the ball, dominating midfield, and slowly suffocating your opponent while still maintaining a solid defensive structure, this playstyle is perfect for you. Now that we're done with possession football, let's move to its ancient ancestor, the playstyle that ruled football in the 1990s, before all these midfield overloads, positional play, and vertical transitions became fashionable. Outwide is a playstyle where you generally attack through the wings and deliver crosses to your forwards to score. The manager who perfected this system was 1998/99 Alex Ferguson's treble-winning Manchester United side. Ferguson played a simple 4-4-2 that heavily depended on the wide midfielders, delivering crosses into the box for the two center forward to devour. Now this is usually the part where I quote the manager explaining his tactics. But Ferguson evolved constantly. As his team evolved, his tactics evolved with them too. He used counter-attacking football, possession football, fast vertical transitions, and many more. He never really sat down and gave some grand lecture about his 1999 wide tactics. He was more focused on drilling the mindset of winning into that young Manchester United team. So, let me do his job instead.
Listen, son. You stretch them wide to make the pitch look
massive.
Get them pulling their hair out. Then you
Smash them right through the bloody center.
Simple as that. Now, we've all taken out wide as just a playstyle for cross spammers. But if you actually understand it, it's more than that. It's very safe defensively and very dangerous going forward. In fact, it might be the most balanced playstyle in the game. So let's set it up. Attacking instructions. The attacking style is possession game. The game is slower paced. Players don't just rush randomly into space. It's more controlled and balanced between movement and positioning. The build-up is short pass. The midfield stays intact and helps recycle the ball until the wings open up. The attacking area is wide. Do you really expect me to explain this? It's literally the name of the play style. For positioning, it's maintain formation. The players are extremely disciplined in their roles, so there's almost no chance of it being flexible. Now, the support range is what separates this from possession football. In out wide, players are actually farther away from each other to make the wings effective. Remember, the goal of out wide is to make the pitch bigger, and the way you do that is by spacing players out. Possession football is about being close together, making the middle compact and jam-packed. Out wide is the opposite. It stretches the opponent by making the pitch larger through wider spacing. So the support range here is 7/10. Defensive instructions. The defensive style was actually eye-opening for me while scripting this. At first, I assumed that since the attacking style is possession-based, the defensive style would be, frontline pressure. That's usually how possession teams behave in real life. But then I saw this image from eFootball itself showing the team's defensive movement. And the game is clearly telling us something different. The team drops back quickly to form a defensive block in their own half. So I went back into the game, started paying attention, and checked the radar multiple times to confirm it. For out wide, the defensive style is officially all-out defense. Containment. Out wide, just like the name suggests, guards the wings seriously. The fullbacks push toward the touchline to stop attacks from developing wide, and sometimes even the center backs drift outward to make those areas even harder to penetrate. The whole system is built to suffocate the wings. But because so much attention goes wide, the middle can sometimes become vulnerable to through balls and central runs. But let's be honest, which defense doesn't leak eventually? So the containment is wide. The pressure style is also not aggressive. The team cares more about covering spaces than chasing the ball recklessly. So the pressure style is conservative. Now the defensive line. What number should we give it? From what I saw online and subtly in the in-game guide, most people describe it as a mid-block. And a mid-block sits around 5/10. This is why the defense feels solid. It's not a deep low block, but since the team uses all-out defense, the back line still stays organized and compact. So the defensive line is 5 out of 10. Now the compactness. When you watch the radar, you'll notice the defense is compact, but not as jam-packed as possession game, and not as loose as quick counter. It's about average of the two. So we do a little football mathematics. Possession compactness equals 8. Quick counter compactness equals 4. The average of both of them gives 6. So the compactness is 6/10. So that's out wide, fully exposed, explained, and dissected. If you're good at using the wings, beating defenders one-on-one, and delivering quality crosses, you'll love this playstyle. It constantly isolates your winger with space and a defender to beat. And if you enjoy possession football but want more runs, more width, and a safer defensive structure, then this playstyle is perfect for you. But now we move to the last playstyle, the one everyone complains about. The one people call no-skill football. The one that looks ugly, until you realize it's the most straightforward playstyle to win games. Long ball is ultra counter-attacking football without building from the back. The midfield is basically cancelled. The goal is simple. Get the ball to the front line as fast as possible, no matter the means, and then start the real build-up from there. The manager who perfected this approach in modern football was Sean Dyche with Burnley in the 2017-18 season, when they somehow finished 7th and qualified for the Europa League with one of the cheapest squads in the entire league. Dyche described the philosophy perfectly.
If you don't have the players to build from the back like the top teams, pretending you can is just fooling yourself. Our job is simple. Get the ball forward early and put it where it hurts them. People talk about beautiful football and slow build-up. That's fine if you've got the players for it. But the goal isn't to look pretty. The goal is to win. And you don't win games passing it around your own box. You win games by getting the ball into theirs.
Long ball is probably the most misunderstood playstyle in the game. Everyone assumes it's just spamming long passes to the front throughout the game with no game plan at all, and if by luck it works out, good. And they're right. They're absolutely right. But what people forget is why it works. It's straightforward. It's pure, direct, ultra-attacking football. Get the ball forward as fast as possible. Don't waste time circulating it at the back. In fact, if you try back passes, you'll notice something funny. There's barely anyone in your own half. Almost everyone is already in the opponent's half, waiting. So once the ball gets there, attack, attack, attack! Enough talking. Let's set it up. Attacking instructions. The attacking style is counterattack. Before doing this research, I used to have a very oversimplified idea about this. I thought long ball was possession game with a low block, and long ball counter was quick counter with a low block. But after actually studying the system, I realized something important. Long ball makes a lot, and I mean a lot of runs. Calling it possession football would honestly be ignorance at this point. So long ball is clearly counterattack. The build-up is long pass. The midfield is mostly irrelevant during the initial phase. The entire point is to launch the ball forward quickly, not to slowly build from the back. Now the attacking area. We'll use our usual method with the 4-4-2 formation. The RMF tucks inside instead of hugging the sideline. That means the team naturally gravitates toward the middle when attacking. So the attacking area is central. Positioning. Long ball is a very fluid system. Since half the team is already attacking and there's almost no slow build-up phase, players constantly run to create space for whoever receives the ball. Sometimes your DMF randomly appears as an attacking midfielder. And the funny thing is, it actually works. So the positioning here is flexible. Support range. This is the part that really surprised me. I expected the players to be extremely far apart. But once the ball reaches the front line, you notice something different. The players actually become very compact in the final third, almost like possession football but with more speed and movement. You can even play small tiki-taka combinations near the box while still maintaining the counter-attacking style. That probably explains why the midfield looks empty during build-up. Since the attackers stay close together up front, nobody really worries about occupying the middle area. So the support range is low. Let's give it 4/10. Defensive instructions. The defensive style is all-out defense. Once the team loses the ball, players immediately rush back toward their own half to form a defensive block near the box. Containment. After watching the defensive movement for hours, I personally believe long ball prioritizes protecting the wings, so the containment area is wide. Pressure style. Because this system usually defends in a low block, the team prefers to block passing lanes instead of aggressively pressing, so the pressure style is conservative. Defensive line. Long ball doesn't sit as deep as long ball counter, but it also isn't as high as out wide. It's basically a mid-low block, so we'll give the defensive line 4/10. Compactness. The long ball play style isn't very compact. It's loose, probably because the system uses wide containment to protect the flanks. So the compactness is 5/10. So this long ball fully explained. If you're the kind of player who loves pure counter-attacking football, with quick combinations near the box but zero patience for slow build-up, if your idea of build-up play is basically clear the ball and let the chaos begin, then this playstyle is for you. Thank God. We've crossed the road. We finally explained all the 5 playstyles, but the best way to truly understand them is to compare them against each other. Because understanding each playstyle individually is good, but seeing the differences side by side is where things finally click. Let's start with the 2 most chaotic cousins in the game. Quick counter versus long ball counter. Both are counter-attacking systems, but they behave very differently. Build-up. Quick counter builds using short passing combinations. Long ball counter skips the polite conversation and launches long passes forward immediately. One builds quickly, the other launches missiles. Structure. Quick counter still respects the team's formation. Players move aggressively, but the structure stays recognizable. Long ball counter, on the other hand, treats structure like a suggestion. Players run everywhere trying to reach attacking spaces as fast as possible. Support range. Quick counter keeps players moderately spaced. Long ball counter spreads players very far apart, so through balls can destroy the defense instantly. Defensive behavior. This is where the systems completely split. Quick counter presses from the front. The moment the team loses the ball, the players hunt it aggressively. Long ball counter does the opposite. The players immediately retreat into their own half and form a defensive block. Containment. Quick counter protects the wings. Long ball counter protects the center. Pressing style. Quick counter is aggressive. Long ball counter is conservative. One hunts the ball. The other waits patiently like a trap. Defensive line. Quick counter has a very high defensive line. Long ball counter sits much deeper. Compactness. Long ball counter is more compact defensively. Quick counter spreads out more due to the high pressing structure. Now let's compare the two long ball systems, because people confuse these all the time. And honestly, it's understandable. They look similar on the surface, but once you look closely, the differences become obvious. Long ball counter versus long ball. Attacking differences. Unsurprisingly, most of their attacking structure is very similar. Both systems want the ball forward quickly. Both avoid slow buildup. The biggest difference is the support range. Long ball counter spreads players far apart to stretch the field for long through balls. Long ball keeps players closer together near the attack, allowing quick combinations once the ball arrives. Defensive differences. Defensively, the gap becomes clearer. Long ball counter protects the center. Long ball protects the wings. The defensive line of long ball counter also sits much deeper. Long ball uses a slightly higher mid-low block. And finally, long ball counter is very compact defensively. Long ball is looser and more spread out. Now it's your turn. If you really want to understand these playstyles, don't just listen to me yapping for 20 minutes. Take your time and compare them yourself. We both did the hard work of breaking them down. Well, mostly I did, but you were, emotionally supportive. So study them and let the patterns sink in. So yeah. The formation discussion is coming later in the series, because this video is already long enough to qualify as a university lecture, and I need oxygen. Turn on your notifications so you don't miss the player video when it drops. Until then, Jesus loves you.